reminder, if you're going to post about this afternoon's event, please don't forget to use our hashtag #FrontRowUniverse. Again, it's #FrontRowUniverse. And why don't we all give ourselves a big round of applause for being here this afternoon. Maraming pong salamat. Before we begin, let me give you a brief background on Frontrow Cares. Frontrow Cares is actually an offshoot of Filipino-owned multi-level marketing company, Frontrow Enterprise. First established to give people the chance to have a better life through the opportunity of self-employment, Frontrow has now ventured into creating campaigns and series of events for the benefit of foundations and institutions that serve the greater good. Spearheaded by Frontrow founders R.S. Francisco and Sam Verzosa, the organization envisions to pay it forward by reaching out to as many charitable institutions that improve the living conditions of less privileged Filipinos. Activities of Frontrow Cares include funds education of deserving scholars, helping with medication and hospitalization of those who are in need, and outreach programs for the less privileged. And now, they're once again spreading joy to 3 charities: Hope for Change, Love Yourself, and Young Focus. Ayan, palakpakan naman po natin ang Frontrow. Thank you so much. And now, let me introduce to you our esteemed panel. Starting off, of course, with no other than our reigning Miss Universe. Everyone, let us all welcome Miss Universe Catriona Gray. We also have with us Frontrow President, Mr. R.S. Francisco. Let us also welcome Frontrow CEO, Mr. Sam Verzosa. We also have with us Love Yourselves Program Manager, Mr. Danvic, Rosadiño. And let us also welcome Founder and Managing Director of Young Focus, Ms. Anne Van Wijgerden. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have our esteemed panel this afternoon. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to call Frontrow's President, Mr. R.S. Francisco, to tell us more about Frontrow Cares and its wonderful philanthropic enterprise. A round of applause, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I would like to share what Frontrow does. Frontrow is a company that Sam and I started years ago, 2010. And we just had this mantra, this slogan that says, we are in the business of changing people's lives. Along the way, 2010, 2011, 2012, we were of course struggling as a new company that time. So we were having a hard time, but we told ourselves, no, we have to do it, you have to persevere, you have to be resilient and all. I remember 2013, when we had an extra 1 million pesos from all our product sales. And that was November, and we were thinking of having a lavish Christmas party. Or, as Sam would say, let's have our office renovated. But then, days after that, a certain typhoon came, a super typhoon came, and we saw a lot of our brothers and sisters from the provinces having been displaced. So, Sam and I, right there and then, decided, instead of having a Christmas party or building our office, let's just donate the 1 million pesos. Our initial, pinaghirapan namin talaga ng 1 million. Let's donate it to the victims of that typhoon. And from then on, we've been doing charities, but it was very informal. We would just see people the news, on TV, we did some Facebook, and then Sam and I would say, oh, let's help this org, let's help this. It's very, very informal. Up until 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that with the help of this universe, with the help of Debbie, and of course our main ministry, we are able to reach out and to have a clearer and louder and a more amplified voice with these organizations that helps Frontrow Care. So we formalized already. Sam is here to talk about the other projects we've done for Frontrow Cares. Would you want to discuss the concert, the play we've done for Firefly?
That's what artists said. We're in the business of helping people, we're in the business of changing people's lives through our business model, where we provide opportunities for our members to earn and help themselves, their families. But outside Frontrow, we established Frontrow Cares to help not just our members, but people outside Frontrow. Because we've been helping, of course, our members for our business model, but RS and I thought about how can we help other people outside Frontrow? Because people think Frontrow is all about cars, the checks, the commissions, the products, the supplements. But we said let's not just help ourselves, our members, but let's help other people outside Frontrow. That's why Frontrow Cares was established. And of course, with the help of the Miss Universe organization, other institutions, schools, we've been able to reach out to as many as we can, and of course with the help of our Miss Universe, Mr. Catriona, and the past Miss Universe, Ms. Pia Verzosa, Ms. Emily Peters, and it is, and we've been able to reach out to various organizations like we have right now, but more than that, we've done other events like charity concerts, like gift giving, and we've reached out to as much as 50 and more institutions, schools, foundations, and we're very proud, and Frontrow has been able to help as much as we can. Sabi nga nila, kailan daw kami tutulong. Sabi namin, as long as kaya po namin tulong and may extra. And we've been blessed by the past few years. Sabi nga ni RS, we've started from scratch, and now na medyo lumaki kami, and we've been blessed. We want to share blessing to as much, mas maraming tao pa, more than our members, but to others na dito lang, kahit hindi sa Pilipinas, but kahit sa ibang bansa. So,
we also do micro charities, which we don't have an event like this. Like our subgroups in Frontrow, they go to distressed areas, and they give them school supplies, they give them wheelchairs, and we put up a church and all that. But those things are like, we just do it internally. But of course, with an event like this, with Love Yourself and Young Focus, and of course with the Catriona grade, I mean, it deserves an event like this, because this one partnership, one venture that I personally, as RS, am so proud of. And Catriona knows this. I'm so proud of Catriona, of what she's done and what she's still doing to the Philippines, all over the world. The awesome, the excellent image that she's been portraying. Now when I meet people, before when I meet foreigners from abroad who have barely an idea of what the Philippines is, before they'd say, oh, Manny Pacquiao. But now when I say I'm from the Philippines, Catriona Gray, and then I say, yes, the lava walk. And of course, I demonstrate the lava walk. But of course, nobody can do it better than Catriona. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francisco and Mr. Verzosa. Another round of applause, please, for Frontrow Cares. I know every act, big or small, is very much appreciated. And now, let us hear it from no other than Miss Universe Catriona Gray, as she shares to us her passion for charity work.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you to RS and Sam for making this event what it is. I am so fulfilled that we have really transformed the aspect of pageantry where charity is now at the forefront, especially in the Philippines where we are such avid lovers of pageantry. Now charity is becoming synonymous with the brand of pageantry, and I feel very fulfilled that I was a part of doing that. And of course, being a part of Frontrow family, a company that really walks the talk and really embodies what I really feel passionate about, which is giving back to the community. When you're blessed, you have the responsibility to pass on your blessings to others, and that is exactly what Frontrow is doing. And it makes me even happier that my two charities that I've been working very closely with for the last 2 to 3 years, Young Focus and Love Yourself, are here as beneficiaries, as well as the children of HopeForChange. Hi! Sarap kain nyo. So it really is this kind of work that really gives meaning to what being a Miss Universe is for me. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here and sharing that message, that yes, when we are blessed, it is our responsibility to pass it on in our own way, in our own circles, in our own communities. So maraming salamat po. We all have the opportunity to change someone's lives for the better. As Yvette said, no act is too big or too small. Thank you very much for being here today. It means a lot.
Thank you very much, Miss Universe Catriona Gray. And at this time, I'd like to invite in front Miss Universe Catriona Gray to lead our donation ceremony together with Mr. R.S. Francisco and Mr. Sam Verzosa. So as we've mentioned a while ago, today we'll be giving donations to 3 charities, and we start off with HopeForChange. The Miss Universe Philippines would like to take this opportunity to help and reach out to HopeForChange, a non-profit humanitarian organization dedicated to eradicating the effects of hunger, illiteracy, and disease ravaging impoverished communities throughout East Africa, Indonesia, and the Philippines.
Go, Sam!
So here are just some of the beneficiaries from HopeForChange. And they seem really happy to see our Miss Universe and to receive this help, of course, from Frontrow Cares. Thank you very much.
Ano ba yan? Hindi makita yung ano.
It's fun, kids. Who knows, one of them might be the next Miss Universe. Oh. Smile, everyone. Alright, thank you very much. Once again, HopeForChange, ladies and gentlemen. And our next recipient is Love Yourself PH. It is a community of volunteers that aim to reach out to others to propagate ideas, attitudes, and practices that encourage loving oneself, to dare to be oneself, to care for oneself, and to share oneself as a way to multiply joy. There you have it again, ladies and gentlemen, Love Yourself PH. And our third charity is an organization very close to our reigning Miss Universe heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Focus. It gives underprivileged children and young people the chance to develop themselves intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually by means of education and personal coaching. It gives a brighter future to children from poverty-stricken families in the country. There you have it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Young Focus. We would like to request representatives of all the three charities to please come up on stage for a group photo.
Chucky! Excuse me. Ang chulo ah.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, let's all give them a big round of applause. Indeed, a very beautiful afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Sam Verzosa, Mr.
Bye-bye na.
Arnett,
Upo na
Mrs.
po.
Miss Universe Catriona Grade. You may now please take your seats once again. And now it's time for our friends from the media. I know you've been waiting for this. The floor is open for some of your questions. We will entertain as much as we can. So feel free to just approach your microphone at the center.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Noni very well. How does the Miss Universe winner for the Miss Universe organization contributed they've been very, very helpful. In fact, not only helpful is not the word. I think very instrumental because the Miss Universe organization and with Danvic and now Catriona, Frontrow's voice has become more solid. It has reached, it has resonated through farther places than as opposed to if it's just Frontrow Manila, you can only go so far. That's initially what we told Catriona when we first met her, and then we that we are asking for your help, for us, Frontrow, to be able to reach out to more. And now that we have partnered with Miss Universe Philippines, Miss Universe organizations, and the beauty queens, and of course Miss Catriona Gray, we find it easier to reach out and to help more people and more brothers and sisters.
So, pwede ba expect na there will be more collaboration between and Miss Universe and Frontrow in the future?
Oh yeah, actually, marami talagang collaboration. In fact, I was telling them na gawa pa tayo ng ibang projects. Kasi kakatapos lang ng fashion show in Sam wasn't there because he was in London, fixing Frontrow London and watching Spice Girls. On the side, so I had to say, hindi ako nakapagod ng Spice Girls. But he was there to fix Frontrow London. But aside from a fashion show, I want to do other things. That's why I want to collaborate with Catriona if she has any ideas how we can do, lahat ng mga friends niya. You know, I want to use her clout and her influence, not her voice. Because if I use Catriona's voice, we will be able to help out more people and to reach out and inspire more people to help. Hindi lang Frontrow, ang daming na-inspire dahil kay Catriona. Hindi lang Frontrow, maraming organizations ngayon gusto mag-reach out to Young Focus and to other organizations because of Catriona. And that's why I'm like, sobrang saludo kami kay Catriona Gray na to.
Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat dito.
very important for very accomplished people or group like Frontrow and the Universe Organization to help and donate money from projects and realize hardships from these people, especially these young ones. Why is it very important?
No, who is, for all of us na lang. All of us na lang. Hindi ko alam, dito nasa-selfie ka ba? Nasabi niya. Ano sabi niya? Hindi ko alam nasa-selfie lang kita Catriona lang talaga. Naka-zoom lang kita Catriona. Naka-fan ka. Actually, why is it important for successful people to help out? Actually, let me just clarify. Sam and I, even before we were not successful, but we were blessed with other things. Even when I wasn't still in front row, even when I was just in theater doing plays, and I was just earning 125 per show, or umakyat ka ng 1,000 pesos per show, I would still find time to partake and to help out other people in need. Kasi alam ko na yung 1,000 ko nakikitain, hindi lang yun para sa akin. I'll divide some for my family, and iba, maghahanap ako ng pwede pagbigyan. Of course, not as big as Young Focus and Love Yourself, kasi hindi man nila papansin ng 200 pesos. But you know, I do my own little charity even before I was blessed. So I don't think only if you're successful that you have the capacity to be charitable. Even if you're not successful, even if in your own little way, parang feeling ko you can be successful. What do you say, Sam, before it's your time?
I like to believe that it's human nature to help people, especially when you see someone in need. So, what more pag mas blessed ka and you have much more to give. So, it comes, I think, natural for us to help.
Sino siya?
That's it.
CEO.
Yeah, and like as I always say, we give not because we have a lot, but we give because I know personally how it feels to have nothing. Because I've been there, and kung kaya ko talaga na I can one person, one soul, one stomach, why not? Eh kung dalawa pa akong tatlo pa, mas maganda. That's for me, my God.
The resonating feeling is really, it's a matter of heart. I was working with the charity group sitting beside me before I went on to win Miss Universe, and I don't think I would be the same person up on that stage had I not been working with them, because it really changes your heart. People think you do charity work to help others, but really in turn it helps you. And that kind of realization that you could be the most successful person in the world, career-wise, materialistic-wise, but if you're not giving back, there's something that's still unfulfilled. And that's really what we want to share with people, that you don't have to be crazy successful. You don't have to have these standards by which society measures success to be able to make a difference in someone's lives. And just by sharing the message that we are pushing out there today, or even talking to your friends about the charities that are present here, about Young Focus, about Love Yourself, about Hope for Change, about any community-based organization near you, you're helping that movement. And that's what we want to inspire here today.
Pag ako nag-answer, parang normal na kwentuhan. Kasi Catriona, parang question and answer, so ganda-ganda na. Parang nag-intrigan na talaga.
So, that's last question. Aside to Young Focus and Love Yourself and the other one as the beneficiaries, do you have plans in the near future to add another groups?
As what we've said, kung kaya namin, we can give to much more, to more organizations, more charities. Yung kaya namin kasi recently we've been helping sports naman, we've been helping ibang hospitals, so whatever comes our way, basta kaya namin tumulong.
But of course, when we did that butterfly, we were not just confined to Love Yourself and to Hope for Change. We were able to give to 28 organizations, not just charities, but organizations from schools to animal welfare, to geriatric care, to Madami. So, as long as we can, it doesn't matter who they are, basta in need of help, at kaya namin we will. Oh, yun parang mento na naman, pero pag si Catriona
Sorry, last question. I have to ask this because it went trending to social media in the past days that the cases or the statistics of HIV and AIDS victim because it's rising here in the Philippines. As the main advocacy of the NGO with Catriona, what's your opinion about this? And how can you, fortify or solidify this advocacy to help these needy victims?
I'll also get Mommy Danvic if you want to say something about this, but it is alarming to see the numbers rising, but it also means that we are targeting the affected areas to have access to testing, which is a huge step into the right direction. And that's why, as a Miss Universe and a Miss Universe organization, we really do feel passionate about HIV and AIDS because it isn't a problem that should be still persisting in the year of 2019. And if I am to share a message, I really want to push everyone to go out and get tested, to know their status, and to treat getting tested as if you're getting a health checkup for your heart, for your blood pressure, getting an HIV test, to moderate your status and to be aware of your status should be just an act of looking after or loving yourself. And I'm going to let Mama Danvic shed a bit of light on the issue also.
Well, first and foremost, what we always say in Love Yourself with everyone is that data is always a double-edged sword. What we mean by that, yes, the number of cases here, especially here in the Philippines, are rising. But what we always say is that these are also the people who come themselves to get tested and they know that their status are HIV positive. So this is a double-edged sword by means that they know their status, and since now they know their status, they have their means now to take care of themselves more, regardless of what status they're in. What we always say in Love Yourself is that the best way for you to love yourself is really to take care of yourself and really to share it to other people as means of multiplying joy and happiness. So that's the best way that we believe, regardless of your status, whether you're HIV negative or HIV positive, you have to love yourself so that you can take care of yourself.
Thanks so much, Alvin.
Hello, Dr. I'm Robert from Manila. First question, two questions. Number one from Kat, Franges, and Sam. How would you like to take this Frontrow Cares campaign to New York? Is it possible? Or is it allowed?
I don't see why not. It's really about addressing the cause and not the organization itself. Because even though we have 3 amazing organizations present with us today, there are so many more NGOs who are doing great work out there who deserve the same awareness and the same support, whether it be confined to here in the Philippines or abroad. So I don't see why we would be limited at all.
Actually, yeah, I think charity work or help knows no boundaries. So why not? If we can sit down with Paula, because by August we will be going to New York with Frontrow. So hopefully sit down again with Queen Kat and Miss Paula and Sean and develop something. You know, there are a lot of people who need help, not just in the Philippines.
Okay, last question to Anne and Danvic. What are the specific needs of your respective organizations which need to be addressed now, ASAP, as soon as possible?
The need of education. There are thousands of families, and you don't need to convince them that education is a way out of poverty, that if they're going to break the cycle of poverty, that their children need full-on education. And what we're discovering, what we're having the privilege of being on the front row of discovering, is that it's not just even about getting a child right from elementary to college or university. It's about imbuing self-confidence, that they finish their education just knowing that they have as much right to any opportunity that comes their way as any other Filipino in this nation. And that takes years, but fun-packed years. And so the need, sorry, a very long answer to that question, but the need is education, full-on education, and good education for more and more kids and more young adults.
regards to HIV, I think the best way also that we need to respond to it is, of course, awareness. And this is what Catriona is passionate about. Despite all of the efforts that we're doing, there are still people, who experience stigma, not external stigma, but also internal stigma within themselves. It is very important, for influential people, to stand out and, to affect change and make people listen. It's really, if their single voice could convince that someone who is really scared to have an HIV test to start his or her treatment, then why not, by all means. We would need all the help that we could get so that, awareness would be, would spread all around, and basically, we hope that there will come a time that promoting and just instilling awareness to everyone is just a natural thing for us, and HIV testing would be a norm for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, my name is Kim from the Daily Tribune. So I'm not gonna ask you, Kat, this is for RS. So yeah. So I remember you staged in Butterfly and you donated to a lot of charities, right? So do you consider mounting another production like a theater, a concert, or anything like that?
Now, as I've been telling people, I'm resting from acting now because I want to concentrate on Frontrow and its expansion. Maybe next year, actually there's a movie that Direct Joel has been waiting for me to say yes, go signal, because he wants me to do a follow-up movie after I did a movie within last 2 years ago, Boy and Chick, wherein I won my first Best Actor award. And he was telling, I was with him just last Sunday, and he said, RS, let's do a follow-up already. And there's another play that's waiting for me to be staged. But as I was telling people now, I want to do it next year. I was talking with my manager, Ricky Gallardo, who's there right now. I was talking with him yesterday, and I was telling Ricky, if there's any acting, rest muna ako. I want to focus first on Frontrow company. And the next year, let's do something also. Maybe we can do something as big as M Butterfly, so we'll be able to help, more people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Adam Araneta from Sash Factor. Hello. I want to address this question to Ms. Catriona. You said earlier that charity has really elevated the image of pageantry nowadays. So I would like to ask if do you think charity tenacity makes a candidate or a woman whole in pageants like Miss Universe nowadays?
I don't even think the question is about being a whole person in pageantry, but in whatever you do, it gives you a sense of self and of awareness and of gratitude that, I may be going through a tough time because we all go through our own challenges and our own hiccups and we all feel frustrated. But when you look at it in the perspective of there is someone out there who has less than me, it also gives you the perspective that I am really blessed. And when you start to see life in that way, you start to see it with a really positive attitude compared to before. And it's not just in being a good spokesperson, which I believe beauty queens are. I think that's our main job. But even in an everyday person, if you could undertake in charity work, in working in your community, or just in being aware of doing small acts of kindness in your workplace, in your family, anything like that, you will start to have a change of heart. And I think the world, or especially the Philippines, could do with more people having a change of heart.
Hello, guys. Tristan Francisco from the Philippine Pageantry. This is supposed to be a question, but this is going to be a suggestion. For your next project, Frontrow Cares, I suggest that you produce a concert of Miss Catriona. So it's going to be a maybe 2 words with one stone, right?
Gusto ba ng tao yun? Yes! Gusto ba? Manunod kayo kung meron?
Yes, of course.
Kailangan mag-yes na.
Yes, and then my question actually is connected to the question I asked you in Bangkok. That what have you learned from the pageant? Now, 6 months after your crown, what have you learned as Miss Universe that you will take and tell your future grandchildren?
Future grandchildren, agad
Or the future Catrionas?
It's really that we are on a path for a reason. There were a lot of times when I would question, why do I have this ambition in my heart? Because, you know, when you do come across roadblocks or come against a wall when you're pursuing a dream, you can really start to question, like, why do I have this dream in the first place? Why does my heart want this? So it's first trusting in God or having faith in yourself that you have that ambition in your heart in the first place. And the second would be that we all have a reason for being where we are. There is a bigger purpose. And purpose, for me, comes from serving other people. We can't just be up there for ourselves. It's not fulfilling in the same way, I promise you. Purpose is about being in a position and taking advantage of that position to give to others. That's when it really becomes fulfilling work and you find your purpose as a person.
Catriona 6 months ago has changed a lot.
She has, because I really have received so much more responsibility. A lot of people are like, your life has changed so much. You have this platform, I have the platform, but with it came responsibility. And I am acutely aware of that, which is why every time I want to speak on a matter or put a message out there, I want it to be of a purposeful kind, whether it be advocating awareness for Love Yourself and Young Focus and working with brand families like Front Row. That is the message I want to put out there. Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for our questions. Now, may we please request our panel to please stand in front for a final photo op. Mr. Verzosa, Mr. Francisco, Ms. Gray, Ms. Anne, and Mr. Derek, please. Thank you.